Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and we'll get straight to the insights you need on the digital world. Have you ever seen something online, maybe just a meme, seem really simple, almost silly, and then you find out it's actually captured massive attention, maybe even serious market value, almost overnight?
It happens surprisingly often, doesn't it? Makes you wonder how value even works sometimes in this digital age.
Exactly. And today we're peeling back the layers on one specific example that did just that. BONK. This wasn't just another meme coin making waves. It felt more like, I don't know, a tidal wave hitting the Solana ecosystem.
Yeah, it definitely got noticed, big time.
So our mission today is to really unpack it. What is BONK? Why does it blow up so fast? What does it actually, do? And maybe what's its future look like? We've gone through the sources, so let's just jump right in and figure out what makes this particular dog coin bark so loud. Okay, let's unpack this then. So at its core, BONK is a meme coin, right? But that feels a bit too simple.
It is, but there's definitely more to it. It's built specifically on the Solana blockchain, launched late 2022.
And it got traction really quick. I remember seeing it everywhere. A big part of that was how it positioned itself, wasn't it?
Absolutely. It came out swinging as the first dog coin on Solana. That was the hook.
Right. And if you know crypto, you instantly think Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, that whole vibe, animal mascot, community, memes.
BONK fits that mold. But the key difference, and it's a really crucial one, is the Solana Foundation.
Instead of, say, Ethereum, it's on Solana, which means speed and low fees.
Exactly. And that's not just a minor technical detail. It's pretty fundamental to how it operates and why it caught on.
Can you expand on that a bit? Why is Solana so important here?
Sure. I mean, think about what fuels a meme coin. It's rapid trading, right? Quick community stuff, maybe small transactions like tips. If you're on a network that's slow and expensive, it just kills that vibe. High fees, long waits, it's a barrier. Solana's architecture is, well, perfect for this. It makes it super cheap and fast to buy, sell, send, whatever. Lowers the barrier to entry massively. It encourages that constant interaction, that buzz, which is absolutely vital for a meme coin to get momentum and, frankly, stay relevant.
That makes sense. Like trying to have a flash mob, but everyone has to pay a $20 cover charge first.
Exactly. Solana removes those hurdles.
Okay, so it's a dog coin, fast blockchain, low fees. That brings us to the next big question, I think. What does BONK actually do? Because, when you compare it to something like Bitcoin, store of value, right?
Yeah.
Or Ethereum, smart contracts, DAT apps.
Yeah, the big foundational stuff.
BONK doesn't seem to have that same kind of deep fundamental utility baked in. So what is its role? What's the value proposition?
That's where it gets interesting. It seems its main roles are much more, well, social and cultural.
Okay, like what?
Well, firstly, remember when it launched? Solana had gone through a really rough patch in 2022.
Oh, yeah, the FTX fallout, the market dip.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Right. So BONK emerged partly as this, rallying point, something fun for the community to get behind. A bit of a digital pep rally, maybe?
Bringing back the good vibes. I can see that. What else?
Second, incentives. Big time. BONK was airdropped, given away to lots of different groups. Solana devs, NFT projects on Solana, regular users.
So like rewards, digital thank yous.
Exactly. Fostering loyalty, encouraging participation. And third, we're starting to see it used for small payments and tips.
On Solana dApps.
Yeah. Some platforms let you tip people in BONK or maybe do small transactions. Again, leveraging those low Solana fees. It makes tiny payments feasible.
So community spirit incentives, microtip.
Pretty much. It's less about technical function, more about cultural function, maybe?
Cultural utility. That's a really interesting phrase. Tell me more about that idea.
Well, think about it. Especially launching when Solana needed a boost. This cultural utility can be incredibly powerful. It's not about being digital gold or running complex code. It's about shared identity. It's about collective experience.
Yeah.
That psychological boost it gave the community. When an asset becomes a symbol, a rallying point like that, its value isn't just about the tech. It's tied up in the social capital, the community bonding.
So it can attract new people, get existing users re-engaged?
Precisely. It becomes this sort of soft marketing for the whole ecosystem. It shows that value isn't always purely rational or tied to function. Sometimes it's emotion, narrative, social dynamics.
It almost sounds like a collectible craze, but digital and community-driven.
That's not a bad comparison, actually. The value comes from the collective belief and participation.
Okay, but how durable is that pep rally energy? Because crypto markets are notoriously volatile.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Which brings us to how BONK grabbed the spotlight so fast. What was the spark? The sources point to a few things, right?
And definitely. The immediate catalyst was the launch strategy, that airdrop.
Right, giving away free tokens.
But it wasn't just random. They targeted Solana users, NFT holders,
Mm.
people already active in the ecosystem.
Ah, strategic. So it instantly created awareness and ownership among the right crowd.
Exactly. Suddenly, tons of people had BONK. They didn't even buy it. Naturally, they got curious, started talking about it. Instant distribution, instant buzz.
Smart. And then there's the branding.
The dog mascot. Can't ignore that. It plugged right into the existing meme coin hype.
People already got Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, BONK just slid into that narrative.
Yeah.
Familiar, popular.
Yep. Easy to understand, easy to share. And then there's the timing, the psychological impact we touched on.
Coming during that Solana downturn.
It was perfect timing in a way. It brought back optimism, enthusiasm. It was a feel-good story people wanted, a sign of life, maybe.
So airdrop for reach, meme branding for familiarity, and good timing for sentiment. Quite a combo.
It really highlights how effective those kinds of strategies can be in crypto. Airdrops are viral marketing, essentially.
Targeted viral marketing.
Right. You leverage existing communities, incentivize adoption, and the meme.
Yeah.
It makes it relatable, shareable on a massive scale. It shows how narrative and community feeling can drive perceived value, even if the underlying utility is thin.
The story matters. The belief matters.
For a time, absolutely, especially in speculative markets. Attention and belief can almost become currencies themselves.
Okay, so if attention and belief are the currency, what does that mean for BONK going forward? What's the future look like? This is where it gets tricky, I imagine. Sources seem pretty balanced, highlighting both the potential and the risks.
Yeah, it's definitely not a clear-cut picture.
So let's talk upside first. What's the good news, potentially?
The community, first and foremost. It's passionate, it's active. That collective energy is a real asset. If they stick with it, it creates its own gravity.
Okay, strong community. What else?
Its potential role within Solana. We talked about tips and small payments that could grow.
More dApps integrating it?
Potentially. Imagine more Solana social apps using it for tipping or games using it for micro rewards. That deepens its roots, gives it more ongoing use.
And then there's just meme power.
Yeah, don't discount it. Look at Dogecoin. Look at Shiba Inu. They've lasted, right?
Oh.
Meme coins can survive and even thrive if the community stays strong and keeps innovating, keeps the story alive.
So community, ecosystem integration, and the enduring power of memes. That's the bull case, sort of.
In a nutshell, yeah.
Okay, now for the other side, the risks. What are the big warnings?
Well, the biggest one is obvious. It's still fundamentally speculative.
Meaning its value isn't really tied to anything concrete beyond hype and those small use cases.
Exactly. Which makes it incredibly vulnerable to sentiment swings, shifts in attention. What's hot today might not be tomorrow.
Which leads directly to volatility.
Extreme volatility. DONK can pump, it can dump, fast. Double-digit swings in a day aren't unusual. It's unpredictable. Not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not. And competition.
Huge factor. The meme coin space is incredibly crowded. New dog coins, cat coins, whatever coins pop up constantly, all fighting for the same attention.
So BONK could just get lost in the noise if something newer and shinier comes along.
It's a real risk.
Yeah.
Community enthusiasm can fade. Attention moves on.
So balancing the passionate community against the speculative nature, the volatility, the competition, what's the general takeaway from analysts looking at this?
Short term, it's all about sentiment and hype. Momentum trading, basically.
Yeah.
Driven by social media, broader market vibe.
And long term?
Long-term survival really hinges on evolving beyond just being a meme.
Those integrations you mentioned, getting embedded in Solana's DeFi, its NFT scene.
Exactly. Wider adoption, real use cases within the ecosystem. That's critical. The comparison to Solana's Dogecoin gets thrown around.
But that's not a guarantee of anything, right?
Not at all. It doesn't guarantee Dogecoin's level of recognition or staying power. It's still a very high risk, high reward kind of situation.
So connecting this to the bigger picture then, what does BONK's story tell us about the broader crypto space?
I think it really highlights that key challenge. How do you go from hype, from that initial cultural spark, to something sustainable?
From meme to, well, something more.
Right. For meme coins, the start is often about capturing excitement, a shared story. But the last, they usually need a real job to do within an ecosystem, whether that's payments in a specific niche or gaming rewards or something else. Utility beyond just trading the token itself.
It makes you think about what really gives any digital asset staying power.
Exactly. Is it the tech, the community strength, the practical use? or some mix of all three? And how does that mix change over time?
BONK is definitely going to be a fascinating case study to watch. It shows how community and story can build something huge, but also underlines that challenge of making it last.
Could agree more.
And that, everyone, wraps up our deep dive into BONK. We've looked at its identity, Solana's big dog coin, built for speed. We explored its purpose, more about community, culture, incentives, less about deep traditional utility like Bitcoin or Ethereum.
We saw how it rose so fast, smart airdrops, catchy meme branding, and perfect timing for boosting Solana's morale.
And we've considered its future highly speculative, depending heavily on its passionate community and its ability to weave itself more deeply into the Solana fabric.
Yeah, a really interesting mix of factors at play.
So hopefully you now have a much clearer picture of this often confusing but undeniably significant corner of the digital asset world. And as we finish, here's something to chew on. What does the rise, the popularity, and the sheer volatility of something like BONK tell us about how we value things in the digital age? Is it suggesting that community, narrative, and shared belief are becoming just as powerful, maybe even more powerful, than old-school economic fundamentals when it comes to market value? Something to think about. Until next time, keep diving deep.